Hello and welcome to the Modern Mystery School UK and EU podcast and YouTube channel. We are joined today by the lovely Andres. Andres, how are you doing today?
Hey, very good. Nice. Happy to
Oh,
be here.
yes, and I'm happy to be interviewing you because I want to know, how do you jump from this world of IT, entrepreneur, Microsoft, that kind of logical world, to then attending Healers Academy and learning how to do the life activation? Can you tell us what drew you to that?
Yeah, happy to. Well, I'll start like few steps back and probably from the period where I can associate more with this kind of maybe development of my conscious life so and how I ended up also in Microsoft was that in 2005 after my bachelor studies. So I was really looking for a new opportunity, for a great place to work, and one of my dreams was that I want to work in a large international company. So and so after this really lengthy interview process, my dream came true. So I landed a job at Microsoft, and I was the first person in Estonia, let's say in the corporate world, that had the title of evangelist on my business card. So I was a evangelist of, let's say, this Microsoft development platform .NET, and so basically it was kind of a technical marketing, but the title was really really cool. And yeah, I was really ambitious and eager to grow on my career ladder. I took on different roles, won different also awards internally, but I ended up moving to Malaysia with my family. So I was leading the Windows and Devices division there, this business group. So it was a really cool experience, and living right in the center of Kuala Lumpur, and kind of enjoying this big city life. And um, but I remember that when I started also working in Microsoft, then I was really surrounded with so many smart people that at the time I was quite young, and I think I started kind of to this kind of I had this feeling that I really need to be kind of serious and act seriously to be taken seriously. So and I think I during the process I put on a very serious mask. So in the same time, kind of hiding my playful side, and I think I started to take kind of life too seriously. And so looking at this, probably if you look at me, but from a kind of exterior world, then I would say I was successful, earning really well, had a beautiful wife, two wonderful kids, enjoying life, traveling, and so. But I was also really working kind of late hours, very stressful, probably inside feeling not happy, not happy with myself, and didn't really have too much kind of maybe joy that I really felt. And so, and another thing was that for me, a way to maybe cut down the stress, so that for many years I was smoking weed, marijuana. So that was my way to kind of deal with the stress, and at the same time also kind of stepping away from this reality. And so it was, I think I understand now more, it's like kind of, it was a way to kind of for me to surrender to my kind of lower nature, and because my ego was super good at selling me the story that this is good for you, it helps you to stay calm and everything else. So but yeah, I think like before leaving Microsoft, I was like really close to actually a burnout. And so, and that time also was like super materialistic, really, career focused. If something wasn't like backed up by science, then I didn't really take it seriously.
So
And
that's funny you say that, because if it wasn't backed up by science, you didn't take it seriously. So then how did you end up having a life activation and attending Empower Thyself?
Yeah, exactly. So So I was, trying out also some kind of, meditations before, but kind of consciously I was not, spiritual at all. So I think my ego was, the one that, got me so far, and I kind of couldn't really imagine that I want to, turn into kind of this hippie that, does these spiritual things. But
Yeah.
after Microsoft, I somehow stumbled kind of on a spiritual path, and initially like really experimented a lot with psychedelics, and which at the time kind of seemed like a great shortcut to this higher consciousness. But one thing led to another, and one of my mentors suggested me that I should check out kind of this modern mystery school path. So I signed up for the life activation, and after that session, I remember that when I arrived home, it was kind of this feeling that's really strange, that feels that I don't want to smoke weed anymore. um, and so I remember that kind of during the Microsoft years, I had also sometimes this kind of internal conversation, like some kind of like a voice asking me, Andres, why are you smoking marijuana? Is it really beneficial for you? How does it support to reach your potential? And this kind of dialogue going on. So only I think now I realize that that was my like higher self calling me to stop, take control of your life. And so really the life activation was kind of this magical experience, because yeah, it helped me to stop smoking, and also
Yeah.
cut down also other like addictions, like coffee, sugar, alcohol, media, and many other things. So yeah, done some quite some changes in my life.
You know me, I'm a huge fan of the life activation, huge fan. So was it that experience of having those huge changes that drove you to want to go to Healers Academy, or was it more that you wanted to heal yourself? What was the driving point behind wanting to go to Healers Academy? Because as we know, we can go, you know, we might want to share the life activation with others. That can be a motivator, or it could be for healing for ourselves. I mean, there's many different reasons why people attend Healers Academy. What was
Hmm.
yours?
But I think, yeah, the main thing was that when I saw how kind of big the change was for myself, my own healing, that was the driver. So I'm always been like very mission oriented, and if I could really see that it kind of can help the healing process so much, then of course that gave me the probably the drive also to use it to serve others, and pass on this kind of healing modality to others.
So you've got this very, say you're coming from this very logical background, and yes, you've had all these different experiences in your psychedelics and all the rest of it, and then you come to the path, and you have your initiation, and you're going to Healers Academy. Can you tell us what it was like going into that Healers Academy, coming from that background of, was it a battle, or was it easy, or, what were the internal voices and emotions going on there?
Mm. Yeah, well, yeah, you really don't know what you're going into, right, when you're like stepping into the Helios Academy. But I remember that the process wasn't necessarily easy, but it was like really I felt kind of this probably like kind of inspired through this process, that that there's so much kind of there's so much history in this tool, that it was really cool to understand more. And of course, I'm still understanding that it's only the kind of the top of the iceberg. There's so much below happening, because it's really a mystical thing, so we don't understand everything. But and I also remember that after healers, that I really set like a high goal for myself to do X number of life activations, and this is still like a battle for me to kind of um, to not be afraid to talk about it with others, to be really transparent and also honest, like from my heart, that it's helped me so much, that you know the more people try this out, the better. But this is something also that I'm still kind of working on, and it's probably my kind of way to conquer my own fears and just uh, take over as a master of my own world.
So, what would you say to all of like those people out there that now that are in the tech world or in the logically minded world, and maybe they don't feel 100% happy with what's going on within themselves, maybe drinking or eating or taking drugs or whatever it is to dull that inner voice. We've all been there. I hands up, I was one of those people. And with them coming from that very sciencey background, what would you say to them to help them understand that this could be an option for them?
Well, the way I look at this now is that I've always been very growth oriented. I've always been learning, studying, trying to keep up, and going forward. And so if people listening are kind of in that same space that you do want to grow, so that's important for you. So I would just kind of encourage them to look into also spirituality, because the in the modern mystery school we talk a lot about the path, and that there's the main path is about knowing yourself. So if you want to have really a joyful life and do well in life and be internally also balanced, so I think that's the most crucial part, that spirituality really can help you. And especially if just try out the life activation, go for it, because it can really change your life. And for me, I think also it has a lot to do with connecting your kind of into your internal passion. So what you really want to do in this world, and not only kind of fit into the model that the others have for you, or the society has for you, that you have to do X to be kind of recognized and do well. So I think it's really kind of finding that inner voice as well.
And also, just to finish off, another point that obviously you're a man, and lots of people that do spirituality, it's can be seen as more female orientated path. And we interestingly, over the last few years, we've had a lot more men come and step forward to Healers Academy. And I would like to hear from you, as a man, family, 2 daughters, providing out in the world, coming to Healers Academy. What was that like from that perspective? And what would you say to other men that might be not afraid to join, or but they might be, oh, I'm not sure if this is for men? Or I know that sounds silly because we know that's not the truth, but can you just give us a little bit of insight to that as well?
Yeah. I guess, as probably if you look at the kind of the spiritual world, then probably there are more women at the moment serving that world. But I think for me, what was really something that kind of pushed me forward as well was the ritual master path. And this is another way to go, but of course they overlap and there's so much integration there. So that's where probably I felt like really strong calling, that it's that kind of that warrior spirit inside me, that I need to do the right thing, just to serve more, and just also kind of in a way push myself to overcome my own fears. Because it's always about if the main focus needs to be always like taking control of your life. And while I understood where probably there are some areas where I'm not kind of really serving myself, so I think that was the kind of the main thing. So I would definitely look the Healers Academy together with the ritual master path. You always take one step at a time, but that's probably where I really felt that as a man I can just do so much more. And if I want to live like a really great life, and and continue growing, then I want to use the best tools for that. And if I saw how much these tools really kind of, have the potential to help me, then, it's an obvious thing that it can also help others.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I know that's going to really make a lot of sense to others watching out there. And it's just wonderful for me to be able to interview so many different people from many different backgrounds. Because, as we've pointed out, these tools help everybody. It's not selective. It's not like you have to tick this box or this box. It's for everybody, no matter whether you're logically minded, whether you're a man or a woman, or whether you already have a spiritual background and an experience of and wealth of knowledge. It's for everybody, and I think that's just the most humbling part of all of this, is I get to hear everybody's story. So thank you so much for sharing so honestly and openly. And if you are in Estonia and you are looking for life activation and you were inspired by Andreas, then please get in touch. His details are in his bio, or you can message me and I will put you in contact with each other. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care for now, everyone, and thank you for tuning in.